Night of August 14th, 1912, the RMS Titanic struck an iceberg. In less than 3 hours, that massive cruise ship, once called unsinkable, would be underwater. More than 2,000 lives were lost, but more than 700 people survived, thanks to the efforts of two rescuers.
The new book, 160 Minutes, is the incredible, not-told story that shows no one should have died the night Titanic sank. Author William Hazelgrove joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
For those who don't know all the ins and outs of the Titanic, there were boats in the area, and that is a big part of your story. Why did they not come to the rescue?
Great question. There was the Californian and the Mount Temple. They were both, one was 7 miles away, one was 10. They didn't come because they were in an ice field and they saw Titanic. And if they went to the ice field, then they would have been at risk. Captain Lord of the Californian refused to recognize Titanic, even though rockets were going off. And it gets worse. When they're putting people into the lifeboats, Captain Smith told them, see that light? See that light? That's a ship. They will go rescue you. Row toward that light. So they were so close, people on the Titanic could see these ships.
So what happened to these captains of these two ships that kind of ignored the calls?
Actually, what happened is Captain Lord came back and he was pulled into a investigation in the United States. He tried to escape it. Basically, they convicted him and said that he was negligent in not coming to the rescue of these people. And this came about because his crew and passengers gave all these interviews to newspapers saying, we saw the Titanic. Captain Moore of the Mount Temple, he escaped that, but he didn't escape history. There's been probably 5 to 10 books about how his passengers saw the Titanic sinking and Moore pulled away from the ice field.
From what I remember from the movie, which is, I think, how most of us know the Titanic story, the lifeboats were jam-packed, but you say that's not true.
No, it's a very dark moment of Titanic. They were full of first-class passengers. They're basically half full. Some of them have 10 people in them. They were 75 capacity. And when the 1,500 people went in the water, and they didn't drown, they all froze to death, only one boat came back. None of them came back. You know, they said the sound of all these people drowning was like the sound of locusts at night. So this is a very shameful moment because these boats, they could have saved another 400 people that were drowning in the water in front of them.
Now, I think I recall from the movie, too, that the telegraph operators were really essential in getting, an SOS out, but you say they were the heroes of this story.
Absolutely. Jack Phillips and Harold Bride, two 20-somethings, essentially the equivalent of computer nerds of their time, this new technology, wireless telegraphy. They are sending out a CQD, come quick distress, all the way up to the moment, literally, water's coming into the wireless room. And it's because of these signals bouncing out. And my book's called 160 Minutes because it only had 160 minutes from when they struck the iceberg. But the only reason anybody was rescued was because they stayed on board, sending this out. Jack Phillips dies, Harold Bride survives. But really, wireless telegraphy, which was viewed as a gadget at this time, is the only reason we know what happened to Titanic.
Yeah, why have these stories taken so long to come out?
Well, you're seeing now we live in an age where a lot of mythology is being torn down, statues are being torn down. And there was a mythology established by Walter Lord's book in 1955 called A Night to Remember. And this basically laid the foundation of the sort of survivor's view of this. And of course, it went all the way down to the movies. But there is another story. This wasn't men, having a last cigar, a shot of brandy, putting their wives and children into the boats. This was pandemonium. This was utter sheer terror because they realized there weren't enough boats. 12 people were shot, and this is something we just don't hear.
And so is the captain of the ship of the Titanic we see here in the picture, is he still the guy they blame things on for hitting that iceberg?
Well, unfortunately, yeah. Captain Smith, he was going about 24 knots. He was trying to set a record. Bruce Ismay, the director, was on board. They went plunging into, even after receiving 12 ice warnings. But again, captains were used to calling all the shots. So they viewed these two guys in this wireless room as sort of the equivalent of today would be sort of computer nerds. They just didn't really believe in the technology. So he went bashing into this iceberg that weighed 500 billion tons, sort of like a tricycle hitting the Sears Tower. and it ripped 5 compartments open. And so Titanic at that moment was tragically going to sink. And so they had 2 hours and 40 minutes to go. And unfortunately, they went down.
Well, for more, you can check out WilliamHazelgrove.com. The book is 160 Minutes. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me.